What if I told you that the most powerful response to rejection isn't a reaction, but silence? Picture this. Someone dismisses you, pushes you away, expecting you to respond, maybe with anger, sadness, or desperation. But instead of reacting, you choose silence. You don't fight back. You don't explain. You don't chase. And then, something fascinating happens. Their world starts to shift. They begin to question their actions, their decisions, and, most importantly, why you remained unshaken by their rejection. Silence isn't just golden. It's transformative. It's a profound display of self-control and inner strength. In fact, it might just be the ultimate tool you've been overlooking in your journey of growth. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear path to turn every rejection into an opportunity for power and self-mastery. Does this resonate with you? If it does, comment, "I'm ready" below. Today, we're tackling something we've all faced but often struggle to handle gracefully: rejection. Maybe you've been ghosted, ignored, betrayed, or even outright abandoned. It's painful, yes, but here's the big question. What do you do when it happens? Most people lash out, cry, beg, or scramble to prove their worth. But what if the real answer is simpler and far more powerful? What if the answer lies in Stoic silence? In this video, I'll show you why staying silent after rejection isn't just a response, it's a statement. It shifts the power dynamic, compels others to rethink their decisions, and most importantly, helps you rebuild your sense of self-worth stronger than ever. Here's the thing. Silence, rooted in the principles of Stoicism, is not about avoidance. It's about mastery. It's a way of saying, "I am whole, no matter what." Before we dive deeper, let me take a moment to thank you for being here. Your support means everything. If you find value in these insights, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. It helps this message reach more people who, like you, are ready to transform their lives. So, are you ready to learn how to turn rejection into a powerful tool for personal growth? Let's begin this journey together. And number one, the immediate power of silence. Rejection, one of life's harshest teachers, arrives uninvited, bruising your ego and challenging your sense of self-worth. But here's a truth that most people overlook. Rejection isn't just an end. It's also a stage, a moment where all eyes are on you, waiting to see your next move. Picture this. Someone rejects you, perhaps through a text, a conversation, or even in public, fully expecting you to break down. They think you'll lash out, plead, or desperately try to win them back. That's the script they've prepared for. But instead, you do something entirely unexpected. You rewrite the script. You stay silent. No texts, no posts, no confrontation, just silence. Can you feel the weight of that choice? Silence is not just an absence of words. It's a profound statement of strength. It declares, "I don't need to play this game. I'm above it." That unexpected quiet hits harder than any response ever could. It's like closing a door firmly, but instead of noise, it's the echo of your absence that reverberates through their mind. Suddenly, they're left standing there, wondering, why didn't you react? This wasn't part of their plan. They were ready for your tears, your anger, your attempts to change their mind. What they weren't ready for was your composure. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you truly surprised someone? Not by losing control, but by showing unwavering calm in the face of rejection. If you've never done this, you're missing out on one of life's most transformative experiences. Silence isn't avoidance, it's power. And here's where it gets even more intriguing. The quieter you are, the louder your absence becomes. Imagine them staring at their phone, refreshing their notifications, waiting for a sign of your reaction. And what do they get? Nothing. Because while they thought they were rejecting you, the truth is, you're the one holding the power now. They expected you to fall apart, but instead, they're the ones left questioning their actions. Silence isn't just golden, it's revolutionary. It's the ultimate act of strength, self-respect, and confidence. Rejection may arrive uninvited, but your response, or lack thereof, can turn it into a moment of transformation. Choose silence. Choose strength. Let your absence speak louder than any words ever could. Number 2. Why silence is so unsettling. Let's take a deeper look into the psychology behind silence. Why is it so powerful? Why does it linger in people's minds, even those who claim they don't care? The answer lies in a fundamental truth about human nature. People crave closure. We need to feel in control of situations, especially emotionally charged ones. Rejection, at its core, is often a power move, a way for someone to assert dominance and say, "I decide how this ends." But when you respond with silence, you shatter that illusion. Think about it. When someone rejects you, they're not just pushing you away. They're trying to elevate themselves, to feel in control. It's as if they're declaring, "I have the upper hand here." But silence? Silence flips the script. It denies them the satisfaction of control. It's the ultimate checkmate in the emotional chess game, and most people aren't equipped to handle that kind of uncertainty. Imagine this. Someone breaks up with you, expecting a flood of emotional texts, pleas, or even an argument, anything that justifies their decision. Instead, they're met with silence. And that silence? It begins to gnaw at them. Suddenly questions creep in. Did I make the right choice? Why aren't they fighting for me? Are they actually better off without me? These questions are the seeds of doubt, and silence is the fertile soil where they grow. Here's where it gets fascinating. Silence forces them to face themselves. Without your reaction to distract them, they're left alone with their thoughts. And let me tell you, that's an uncomfortable place to be. Silence acts as a mirror, reflecting their insecurities, doubts, and mistakes back at them. When they realize you're not chasing them, not trying to win them back, they're left questioning everything. People fear silence because it reveals truths they'd rather ignore. Silence is more than just a lack of response. It's a strategy. It's the pause in the conversation that makes the other person lean in, desperate to fill the void. And the beauty of it? You don't have to do anything. Just let the silence do the talking. In a world where noise dominates, silence is your most powerful tool. It forces reflection, stirs uncertainty, and leaves an unforgettable impact. Choose silence. It speaks volumes without saying a word. Number 3. The question they can't stop asking. Let's take this concept a step further. What happens when your silence doesn't just surprise them, but consumes them? That's when the questions start, the kind that linger in their minds long after the moment has passed. What are they thinking? Why didn't they react? Are they seeing someone else? Have they already moved on? These aren't just passing thoughts. They're a storm of doubt and insecurity swirling in their mind, building momentum with every unanswered moment. This is the beauty of silence. It doesn't just leave them wondering, it makes you unforgettable. When someone rejects you and you react emotionally, it's easy for them to dismiss you. They'll think, oh, just another person who couldn't handle rejection. But when you stay silent, you shift the dynamic entirely. You become a mystery. And if there's one thing human nature can't resist, it's a mystery. Think about it. At a party, you meet two people. One is loud, constantly talking, trying to impress everyone. The other is quiet, reserved, yet carries a quiet confidence. Which one do you remember? Exactly. Silence has a magnetic quality that draws people in. In the context of rejection, it becomes irresistible. Now imagine the person who rejected you. They believed their decision was final, that they held all the power. But your silence leaves the door open, not for reconciliation, but for doubt. They start to second-guess themselves. Did I make the wrong choice? Did I underestimate them? And here's where it gets interesting. While they'll never admit it outright, their actions will speak volumes. They'll start checking your social media, asking mutual friends about you, even reaching out under the guise of some trivial excuse. All because your silence planted a seed they can't ignore. Let's pause for a moment. Have you ever experienced this? Have you ever stayed silent and watched as the person who rejected you began to unravel? If not, you're missing out on one of life's most satisfying moments. And no, this isn't about revenge. It's about reclaiming your power. It's about showing them, and more importantly, yourself, that you are not defined by their rejection. But here's the catch. Silence only works if you're consistent. You can't go silent for a few days and then break it with a cryptic text or a passive-aggressive social media post. True silence requires discipline. It's about letting go of the need to prove yourself to anyone but yourself. When you master that, something extraordinary happens. The person who once dismissed you begins to chase you. Why? Because silence isn't just a response, it's a statement. And as their questions grow louder, your quiet confidence becomes deafening. Stay silent. Stay strong. Let your silence do all the talking. Number 4. Breaking free from the drama. Psychodrama is often the default reaction to rejection. It's the language people use when they feel powerless, hurt, or ignored. Most of the time when faced with rejection, people rush straight into the drama cycle. They vent to friends, post cryptic messages on social media, or send long-winded texts trying to explain their side of the story. But here's the harsh reality. Every dramatic action you take after rejection does one thing. It validates their decision. It sends the message, you were right to reject me, to walk away. By feeding into the narrative they created, you're giving them exactly what they want. And worse, you're letting them win. But silence? Silence changes the game completely. Picture this. A couple breaks up, and one person starts posting a flurry of photos online. Fake smiles, cocktails in hand, pretending to have moved on. What does that really say? It screams desperation. It's a loud, clear signal to the other person. Look how hard I'm trying to get your attention. And trust me, they notice. They see through it. Silence, however, tells a completely different story. Silence says, I don't need your validation. I'm fine without you. Here's why silence is so powerful. It removes you from the equation entirely. You're no longer a participant in their story. They can't use your reactions to justify their actions or twist you into the antagonist of their narrative. Instead, they're left alone, with their thoughts, their decisions, and no one to blame but themselves. Think of silence as an escape hatch. When you choose silence, you're not just avoiding drama, you're rising above it. You're taking the high road, showing both the world and yourself that you're stronger than the situation. And here's the best part. While they're stuck replaying the breakup, caught in the drama they created, you're moving forward. You're focusing on your goals, your growth, and your peace of mind. Nothing confuses or frustrates someone more than seeing you thrive in the silence they expected to defeat you. So, let me ask you this. The next time you face rejection, will you feed into the drama cycle, or will you break free from it? The choice is yours. But remember, silence isn't just the absence of noise. It's a bold declaration of peace, independence, and self-worth. And in a world filled with chaos and noise, peace is the ultimate power move. Number 5. The magnetic pull of mystery. Have you ever noticed how irresistibly drawn we are to the unknown? It's why we devour page-turning novels, binge-watch mystery series, and feel intrigued by people who keep parts of themselves hidden. Silence operates in the same way. When you choose silence after rejection, you transform into a mystery, a puzzle they can't solve, a question that gnaws at them unanswered. And here's the thing, people hate unanswered questions. Think about it. In today's world, where oversharing is the norm, silence is a rare and striking departure. When you don't react, don't explain yourself, and don't engage, you stand out in a sea of predictability. That makes you unforgettable. Now, imagine the person who rejected you. They expected anger, tears, or desperate attempts to reconcile. But instead, they're met with silence. And suddenly, they can't stop thinking about you. They start stalking your social media, searching for clues. They ask mutual friends about you, replay the moment in their mind, and start wondering, did I make a mistake? This is the magnetic effect of mystery. Your silence doesn't just confuse them, it captivates them. It becomes their obsession. But here's the key. You have to commit to silence. No cryptic Instagram posts, no accidental likes on their photos, no subtle check-ins through mutual friends. True silence is unwavering, and it's in that unwavering silence where your power truly lies. Think of how celebrities handle scandals. The ones who remain silent command more intrigue, more respect, and more attention than those who react impulsively. The same principle applies to rejection. Silence makes you intriguing, magnetic, and unforgettable. It leaves them wondering, what are they thinking? What are they doing? Why aren't they reacting like everyone else? So, the next time someone pushes you away, ask yourself, will I give them the reaction they expect, or will I surprise them with silence? Remember, it's not just about staying silent, it's about becoming unforgettable. And in the game of rejection, the person who chooses silence is the one who ultimately wins. Number 6. Turning pain into power. Rejection hurts. There's no way around it. It stings, bruises your ego, and can even make you question your self-worth. Pain is inevitable, but suffering, that's a choice. The difference between the two lies in what you decide to do with that pain. Most people let rejection define them. They replay the moment in their heads over and over, analyzing every word, every gesture, desperate to understand what went wrong. They allow the pain to consume them, trapping themselves in a cycle of doubt and self-pity. But you're going to take a different path. You're going to take that pain and transform it into power. Here's how. The first step is shifting your mindset. Rejection isn't the end. It's a redirection. It's life's way of saying, this isn't for you, but something better is waiting. When you embrace this perspective, rejection stops feeling like a dead end and starts looking like a stepping stone. Next, take all that energy you'd waste on overthinking or dwelling in drama and channel it into self-improvement. Hit the gym. Start that project you've been putting off. Learn a new skill. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself, not for anyone else, but for you. Imagine this. Someone faces rejection but decides to use it as motivation. They begin working out, eating healthier, and diving into their passions. Months later, they've completely transformed. The person who rejected them, they see the change and suddenly realize what they've lost. But by then, it's too late. This isn't about revenge. It's about reclaiming your power. Rejection doesn't define you. Your response to it does. So, the next time someone implies you're not good enough, don't try to prove them wrong with words. Let your actions speak louder. Let your growth, your transformation, and your success be the ultimate response. Because here's the truth. Every rejection is an opportunity in disguise. It's a chance to grow, to improve, and to come back stronger than ever. One day, when you look back on this moment, you'll realize that the pain wasn't the end. It was the beginning of something extraordinary. Number 7. The transformative power of letting go. Letting go, two simple words that hold the secret to freedom, peace, and personal power. Yet for so many, the act of letting go feels impossible. Why? Because we tie our self-worth to the things we cling to, even when those things no longer serve us. Rejection lays this bare. We hold on to the idea of someone, a relationship, or even the need for closure because it feels safer than facing the unknown. But here's the truth. Letting go isn't just the right thing to do. It's the most powerful thing you can do. Picture this. Someone walks out of your life. Maybe they ghost you, reject you, or stop making an effort. Your instinct? To hold on, to text them, call them, and remind them of your worth. But every time you do this, you're handing them your power. You're saying, I need your validation to feel whole. And that's what keeps you stuck. Letting go changes everything. It's not about giving up. It's about moving forward. It's about understanding that some people and relationships aren't meant to be permanent. They're meant to teach you, not define you. When you let go, you send a strong message to both the outside world and to yourself. My worth is not based on what other people think of me. Here's the beauty of letting go. It creates space. Space for growth, new opportunities, and better things to come. Imagine your hand clenched tightly around something. It's impossible to grab onto anything else. That's what it's like when you hold on to rejection. But the moment you open your hand, when you release what no longer serves you, you create room for something better. Letting go isn't just an action, it's a declaration. It says, I'm not chasing you. I'm not begging for your attention. I'm choosing myself. And here's the twist. When you let go, you don't just become free. You become magnetic. Not only to the person who rejected you, but to the world at large. There's an undeniable power in someone who values themselves enough to walk away from what doesn't serve them. So the next time you face rejection, think about this. Instead of chasing what's gone, let it go. Focus on your own growth, your happiness, and your goals. When you do, something amazing happens. The person who rejected you starts wondering what they lost. Because here's the truth. You didn't lose them, they lost you. Letting go isn't a sign of weakness, it's the ultimate act of strength and self-respect. When you master this art, you'll see rejection not as an end, but as a beginning. So ask yourself, what am I holding on to that's holding me back? Imagine what your life could look like if you let it go. The answer might just transform everything. Number 8. Embracing the Stoic mindset in relationships. Stoicism, a philosophy that has endured for centuries, teaches us how to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. When applied to relationships, it becomes a true game changer. At its heart, Stoicism is about focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you cannot. It's about mastering your emotions rather than letting them control you. And isn't that exactly what rejection challenges us to do? Let's be honest, rejection stings because it feels deeply personal. Someone chooses to walk away, and it's hard not to see that as a reflection of your worth. But Stoicism offers a powerful reminder. Their decision says more about them than it does about you. You cannot control how someone feels about you. You cannot dictate their actions, choices, or emotions. But you can control how you respond, and therein lies your true power. Imagine this. Someone ends a relationship with you. Instead of reacting emotionally, you pause. You take a deep breath and remind yourself that their rejection does not define your value. You don't argue. You don't beg. You don't chase closure. Instead, you respond with quiet dignity and strength. That's Stoicism in action. Stoicism teaches us to view rejection not as a loss, but as a lesson. What can this experience teach you? How can it help you grow? Maybe it's showing you the importance of setting healthy boundaries. Maybe it's a reminder of what you truly deserve. Or maybe it's simply proof that you are strong enough to face whatever life throws at you. Here's a practical example. Let's say someone ghosts you. They stop responding to your messages, leaving you in a haze of confusion and unanswered questions. Most people would spiral, constantly checking their phone, overanalyzing every word exchanged, and wondering what went wrong. A Stoic mindset, however, approaches this differently. Instead of obsessing over what they did, you shift your focus to what you can control. Your response. You choose to move forward. You let go of the need for their validation and channel your energy into your own life. This is where Stoicism shines. It teaches the power of detachment. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop clinging. It's about releasing the belief that your happiness, peace, or worth depends on someone else. True happiness comes from within. And when you embrace this mindset fully, rejection loses its sting. Think about the strongest, most resilient people you know. Chances are they've mastered the art of Stoic detachment. They don't chase people who don't value them. They don't let rejection define them. Instead, they focus on their journey and growth. And in doing so, they attract the right people, opportunities, and energy into their lives. So how can you apply Stoicism to your relationships? Start by focusing on what you can control. Let go of the urge to fix, chase, or convince. Embrace the idea that rejection is not an end, but a redirection. Most importantly, remember this. You are not defined by how someone else sees you. You are defined by how you see yourself. Stoicism isn't just a philosophy, it's a way of life. When you apply its principles to your relationships, you'll discover that rejection doesn't break you. It builds you. It makes you stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The next time someone walks away, don't see it as a loss. See it as an opportunity to practice stoic detachment. Because in the end, the only person you truly need is yourself. Number 9. When silence becomes their obsession. At first, silence feels passive, like you're doing nothing. But in truth, it's one of the most powerful and deliberate choices you can make after rejection. The absence of your voice, your presence, and your attention creates a void. And here's the thing about voids. People can't stand them. The person who rejected you assumed their decision would close the chapter. But your silence, it leaves the book open, forcing them to reread the same page over and over. Think about it. Someone ends a relationship with you. They expect tears, drama, maybe an emotional outburst. They expect you to fight for them, to send one last desperate text, or to show up at their door seeking closure. But you don't. Instead, you vanish. You remove yourself, not because you're weak, but because you've chosen silence as your most powerful weapon. And that silence? It becomes the loudest thing in their world. Why does this work? Because silence forces them to sit with their decision. It leaves them alone with their doubts, insecurities, and second-guessing. Suddenly, they start asking themselves, did I make the right choice? Were they better than I realized? Are they happier without me? And the more they think about you, the more obsessed they become with finding the answers. Your silence becomes a mirror, reflecting their uncertainties back at them. Here's an example. Imagine someone breaking up with you because they believe the grass is greener elsewhere. Maybe they have someone else in mind, or maybe they just want to explore their options. At first, they feel confident, even self-assured in their decision. But as days turn into weeks, they notice something unexpected. You're not chasing them. You're not pleading for another chance. You're not even acknowledging their existence. That's when doubt creeps in. They thought they were the prize, but now they're wondering if they misjudged you. Silence also has this uncanny ability to make people fill in the blanks. When you're not there to explain yourself, they start crafting their own narratives. And often those narratives paint you in a better light. Maybe they've already moved on. Maybe they're seeing someone better. Maybe they didn't need me as much as I thought. These thoughts don't just linger. They consume them. Here's the key. Silence isn't about punishing them. It's about reclaiming your power. It's about proving, both to them and to yourself, that you don't need their validation to thrive. And the beauty of silence. The less you say, the more they think about you. The less you do, the more they notice your absence. Silence isn't just a response. It's an experience. And for the person who rejected you, it's an experience they can't escape. So, let me ask you, are you ready to let your silence speak for you? Are you prepared to let them sit with the weight of their decision? Because when you master the art of silence, you're not just taking back your power, you're making them question everything. Number 10. Mastering resilience through silence. Resilience, a word we hear so often, but what does it truly mean? At its core, resilience is your ability to bounce back, to recover, and to thrive in the face of adversity. And when it comes to rejection, resilience becomes your most powerful ally. Here's the key. Resilience doesn't come from reacting. It doesn't come from arguing, pleading, or trying to convince someone to see your worth. True resilience comes from silence. Silence is more than just the absence of words. It's a deliberate act of strength. It's a declaration that says, I am not defined by your decision. I am defined by how I choose to respond. When you choose silence, you're choosing resilience. You're making the decision to prioritize your growth, your peace, and your happiness. Think about this. When someone rejects you, they expect to see you falter. They expect tears, anger, or desperate attempts to win them back. But when you stay silent, you send a different message. You're saying, I'm stronger than this. I'm stronger than you think. And that message? It's not just for them, it's for you. Resilience through silence isn't about ignoring your feelings. It's about acknowledging them, processing them, and using them as fuel for your growth. It's about taking the pain of rejection and turning it into power. Here's how you can do it. Embrace the silence. Use this quiet time for self-reflection. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How can I grow from it? Maybe the rejection is highlighting areas for improvement, or perhaps it's freeing you from a situation that wasn't meant for you. Whatever the case, silence gives you the space to uncover those answers. Focus on your goals channel, the energy you'd spend chasing someone into investing in yourself. Hit the gym, start a new project, or learn a new skill. Every step you take toward self-improvement is a step closer to resilience. Remember, resilience isn't about perfection. It's about showing up for yourself, even on the hard days. Choosing silence isn't about avoiding pain, it's about transcending it. With every quiet moment, you're proving that you're not just surviving rejection, you're thriving in spite of it. Picture this. Someone gets rejected in a relationship. Instead of spiraling, they channel that pain into motivation. They focus on their fitness, dive into their passions, and grow in their careers. Months later, they've transformed into a stronger, happier, and more confident version of themselves. And the person who rejected them, they're left wondering how they ever let someone so remarkable slip away. That's the power of resilience. It's not about proving the other person wrong. It's about proving yourself right. It's about showing yourself that you are enough, that you are worthy, and that you are capable of greatness. So, the next time someone rejects you, choose silence. Choose resilience. Choose to focus on the one person who truly matters. You. Because in the end, rejection isn't a reflection of your worth. It's an opportunity to discover just how strong you really are. Silence isn't just the absence of words. It's a powerful declaration of strength, self-worth, and emotional independence. When someone rejects you, resist the urge to plead for their attention or fight for their approval. Instead, choose silence. Let your absence speak volumes, louder than any words ever could. If you've made it this far, I know you're ready to reclaim your power and take control of your life. Comment "Silent Strength" below if you're committed to transforming rejection into resilience. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Your support helps this channel grow, making these transformative lessons accessible to everyone. Together, we can build a stronger, more resilient community.